देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Krishna, thank you so much, Vijay. Thank you so much for joining. Lakshmi, Lakshmi, no problem at all. I'm actually grateful that you still joined. Instead of not being well, you don't have to. But whatever is stated, please take care. And Varsha, you too, please take care. Yeah, both are, yeah, please take care. Yeah, no worries. But extremely grateful that you still took out a time to join. Yeah, thank you so much. Paad ki jai. Yeah, Vijay, would you like to summarize?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, give me 1 minute, Prabhu. This Akshara has some bhajan practice, Prabhu. I will let her
No worries.
start and
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
come. Yes, sir.
yeah.
So
Please, please.
last week, 1 second.
No, you please go and come back. Yes, yeah. Okay, so last week we finished chapter number 14, and the last two verses are extremely one of the most important verses of the 14th chapter. When you get time, please to go and read the last two verses. Just to give you an so Arjuna had asked three questions basically. One second.
One second.
Okay.
So, Prabhu, like last week, we discussed like the verses. It was 26 and 27, Prabhu. So, those two verses were the last two verses of the 14th chapter, which is the three modes of material nature. 26th verse, specifically, I remember the 27th verse where he talked about the Brahma Bhuta stage. But what was 26? I forgot, Prabhu. So, like, I think it kind of summarizes, and like whenever one who surrenders will cross the material nature of spot talks, and then the one question that Anita had was very good. Like when you surrender, like then why does Krishna talks about reaching a Brahma Bhuta stage? And then you explained, Prabhu, like see, I did not write it. That's why I'm not getting a flow of it, Prabhu.
No worries. Whatever you can think of.
Yeah, like yeah. Oh, Prabhu, I'm not getting it, Prabhu.
No worries.
Even
so,
yeah.
mhm.
Bhakti Rasamata Sindhu also you quoted a specific verse 12217. See, I don't. No, I'm not able to say because I did not write it.
Yes. So the last two verses basically, Arjuna asked three questions about the qualifications or how to identify a person, right? Who has gone beyond the modes, who has controlled or who is beyond the modes. Very similar to chapter number 2, Sveta Prajna, right? So Krishna answered the first two questions. The third question he asked was, okay, how can one transcend? Okay, I can try to find a person, okay? What are the qualities, what are the characteristics of a person who's beyond the modes? And how can one, what is the process of doing that? So Krishna hadn't answered that particular question until verse number 26. So verse number 26 gives the answer of the process of transcending the modes of nature, material nature. So Krishna doesn't give just the problems, he gives a solution also. So in that way, he gives the verse 26, Mamcha yo abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhujaya kalpate. So by doing abhyabhichari bhakti, abhyabhichari basically means undeviated or one-pointed bhakti. To whom? To me, this is. In what form? Abhyabhichara means one pointed what bhakti yogena sevate. And serving me with bhakti yoga. Krishna very specifically says bhakti yoga sevate. To me, what happens? Sagunan samatitaitan. And all the gunas, right? One can transcend the goals and be in the spiritual platform. Baba bhuyaya kalpate. Right? So one can transcend beyond the modes, but in bhakti yoga. There's the essence of the verse. We had discussion about that particular verse. We talked about that. And we went to detail, but this is the main essence. And by bhakti, one can transcend the modes. And we saw in person Bhagavatam, everything, that even if you karma yoga or jnana yoga or dhyana yoga, whatever it is, you need an element of bhakti to get the result of the particular yoga. So bhakti yoga has to be there in some form or the other to get the result of some other yoga. The bhakti yoga doesn't need anything else to give the result. Would that make sense? So has to be there with other yoga to give the result of that yoga. But bhakti in herself doesn't need anything else to give the result. So that shows the importance of bhakti, the potency of bhakti, force of bhakti. So Krishna says bhakti to me. And then one may say Brahma Bhuya, Brahma basically was Brahma and Brahman, but oh Krishna, by doing bhakti, shouldn't we get you? Why do we need to get the impersonal, the light? Bolte, no? Why do we need to get that? We don't want that. So Krishna clarifies saying that uh, Brahmano hi pratishta aham. That I am the basis. Brahman comes from me. I am the base of Brahman. So when you say Brahman, but you attain me. You attain my nature. You have come to me. Krishna is being give assurance that Brahmano hi pratishta aham. I am the basis of Brahman. And so uh, Krishna says Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan in the 10th or 11th chapter. 10th chapter, I think so. 11th chapter. Arjuna says, Krishna, you are Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Param Brahma, you are the ultimate culmination of Brahma. Now, Brahmani, Brahma. Right? So, Brahmano hi Pratishta Aha on the basis of Brahman. So, the light which emanates from Krishna is called a Brahma Jyoti. That's what Krishna is saying. Okay? He is a root, he is a cause of that. Everything rests upon his existence. Krishna has been saying that. That's it. And he's not as extensive as what BG really shares, but please, sorry, you have to bear with this week. But this is essence. Anything else you can think of?
Thank you, Prabhu. I should have written, Prabhu, because these two verses were really good. And
Yeah.
I was driving back and listening and didn't write. Sorry, Prabhu.
No,
I'll
no,
try.
no, it's fine. No, but you do every week you do something. No problem at all. Don't worry about it. Do it yourself. Okay. So we'll now go to chapter number 15. 15 is titled as Yoga of the Supreme Person in English. But in Sanskrit में क्या बोलते हैं? Yoga is supreme. Yoga means what is yoga means yoga. But what do you call what do you mean supreme person? How do you translate supreme person?
Krishna.
Okay. What is the word? For
Um,
word you could say person in general, you could Purusha. Person. And the best supreme person is called
Parama
Uttama.
Purusha.
Uttama.
Uttama. Okay.
Best. Param also yeah. So Purusha Uttama becomes Purushottama. So this chapter is called as Purushottam Yoga. Hmm? So, Purushottam Yoga. So this chapter, so Krishna described the 14 modes in the previous chapter, right? And then the forces that restrict and control the living entity with repeated activities. Kamat is like a horse being tied to a pole with a 10-foot rope. The horse has freedom to move within the radius of 10 feet anywhere it wants. He wants, or she wants, whatever. Beyond that, the three modes are like, हाँ इतना घूमो लेकिन इसके बाहर we are like controlled by that in that way. Now Krishna uses an allegory. Allegory basically means it's not something real, but you kind of tell something, a story, to illustrate a particular point. It's called allegory. Does it make sense? So let me pull up the allegory definition to make it clear. So allegory basically is a story or a poem or a picture that uses symbolic characters or events to represent ideas. Okay? So we'll see very soon what happens. The first verse itself, Krishna will talk about the allegory. There's something real about it, but Krishna is kind of illustrating a particular point through something. Okay? That's allegory. Bhagavad has an allegory. At one point, in one place. And remembers what?
What's the question again, Prabhu? Sorry.
Bhagavatam also describes an allegory.
You're talking about Narada Muni and
Mm-hmm.
what's his name, Prabhu? I'm not getting the name. The city of 9 gates.
Yes. Prachini
Prachinhavari, yes.
Fourth canto of Bhagavatam. That's allegory also. Okay. So Krishna describes, we'll see what Krishna describes in what way the allegory Krishna describes. And yeah, okay. Chapter 15. It's a very short chapter, 20 verses, which is same as chapter number 12. The shortest chapter in Bhagavad Gita has 20 verses. Chapter number 12, chapter number 15, this has 20 verses. Okay. Let's start. Who would like to read the verse? Anyone takers? I will read.
I can go first if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Please. Yeah. Thank you.
Sri Bhagavana Uvacha Urutva Moolam Adaha Sakham Aswatam Prahur Avyam Chandamsi Yasyasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sa Vedavit. Sri Bhagavana Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Urutva Moolam, with roots above, Adha, downwards, Sakham, branches, Aswatham, a banyan tree, Prahuha is said, Avyavyam, eternal, Chandamsi, the Vedic hymns, Yasya, of which, Parnani, the leaves, Ya, anyone who, that Veda knows, Sa, he, Veda, with the knower of Vedas. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. After the discussion of the importance of Bhakti Yoga, one may question, what about the Vedas? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Therefore, one who is in Krishna consciousness, who is engaged in devotional service, already knows the Vedas. The entanglement of this material world is compared here to a banyan tree. For the one who is engaged in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. He wanders from one branch to another, to another, to another. The tree of this material world has no end, and for one who is attached to this tree, there is no possibility of liberation. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree. This tree's roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it. This process of extrication should be understood. In the previous chapters, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. And up through the 14th chapter, we have seen that the devotional service to Supreme Lord is the best way. Now, the basic principle of devotional service is detachment from material activities and attachment to the transcendental service of Lord. The process of breaking attachment to material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. The root of this material existence grows upwards. This means that it begins from the total material substance, from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the results of living entities' activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Now there is no ready experience in this world of a tree situated with its branches down and its roots upward. But there is such a thing. That tree can be found beside a reservoir of water. We can see that the trees on the bank reflect upon the water with the branches down and the roots up. In other words, the tree of this material world is only a reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. This reflection of the spiritual world is situated on desire, just as a tree's reflection is situated on water. Desire is the cause of things being situated in this reflected material light. One who wants to get out of this material existence must know this tree thoroughly through analytical study. Then he can cut off his relationship with it. This tree, being the reflection of the real tree, is an exact replica. Everything is there in the spiritual world. The impersonalists take Brahman to be the root of this material tree. And from the root, according to Sankhya philosophy, come Prakriti, Purusa, then the three gunas, then the five gross elements, uh, Pancha Mahabhuta, then the 10 senses, the Sindriya, mind, etc. In this way, they divide up the whole material world into 24 elements. If Brahman, if Brahman is the center of all manifestations, then this material world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees, and the other 180 degrees constitute the spiritual world. The material world is the perverted reflection, so the spiritual world must have the same variegatedness, but in reality. Therefore, both Prakriti and Purusa must be there. In the spiritual world, however, Prakriti is the Supreme Lord's internal energy, and the Purusa is the Supreme Lord himself. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita 8.22, Purusa Sapara Partha. The difference between the spiritual and the material manifestation is that the former is eternal and the latter is temporary. A reflection is temporary, for it is sometimes seen as and sometimes not seen. But the origin from whence the reflection is reflected is eternal. The material reflection of the real tree has to be cut off. When it is said that a person knows the Vedas, it is assumed that he knows how to cut off the attachment to this material world. If one knows that process, he actually knows the Vedas. One who is attracted by ritualistic formulas of the Vedas is attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the tree. He does not exactly know the purpose of Vedas. The purpose of Vedas, as disclosed by the personality of Godhead himself, is to cut down this reflected tree and attain the real tree of the spiritual world.
Thank you so much. There's a long paper. Thanks so much for reading. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, any reflections, anything on this? Anyone?
I was thinking, Prabhu, spiritual world is 3/4 of the whole universe. I mean, the
Tripadi Vibhuti. It says
yeah,
it's unlimited, but you could say one just to show the
1/4 and
magnitude.
3/4.
To the magnitude, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, when Prabhupada said 180 degrees, it felt like he's saying half is material world and half is spiritual world. But I understand the reason why he's saying 180 degrees. And one more thing that I liked was
To 180
how
degrees, oh, sorry, to 180 degree in the sense that if you look on the bank of a river or a pond,
Mhm.
right, you see the reflection downwards, right?
Yeah,
But when you 180 degree, what is a 180 degree?
upward.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense, Prabhu.
So
And
that's it means. It's a reflection.
reflection. Yeah. One thing I really liked was where he says the reflection of the material world is situated on desire, just as a tree's reflection is situated on water.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice comparison, I felt. Thank you,
Yes.
Prabhu.
You. Anything else? No? Nice. Okay. So let's go by the verse. Okay. Very nice verse. Very, yeah, beautiful. Let's talk about it. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Urdhva. Urdhva basically means what? Urdhva means upwards. So when we put tilak, right? This is called Urdhva Pundra, going upwards. Urdhva means going up or up. What is up? Moolam, the root. The root is upwards. And Adha means down. No, Adho gachanti tamasa, going downwards. Adha. Adho shakham. Shakham basically means the branches. So the root is up, the branches are down. And what is this? What is which have what has roots up and branches down? Ashwatham. So Ashwatham usually is translated as banyan tree. Actually, it means people tree. But it's fine. Yeah, the purpose is served. People tree, banyan tree. Rahura Bayam. And what is the nature of the Ashwatha tree? This tree which has root upward, normally we see root down and branches up. This tree such that it has root upward, branches down, and this is eternal. The Ashwatham is eternal, Abhyayam. And Chandamsi, the Vedic hymns are the leaves, Parmani are the leaves. Okay? And Yastam Vedas a Vedavit. Veda means Vedas, Veda also means knowledge, who knows. And when you knows Vedas, when you knows this tree is understood to know the Vedas. Okay? Very easy to understand. Hmm? So, Krishna make this is cryptic thing going on here. So we'll try to decode, okay? So here Krishna says um, the essence of this verse or essence of the chapter is detachment from matter is the cause of getting out of this cycle of birth and death. Detachment. Attachment से कुछ नहीं होगा, detachment has to be there. Okay? People tree में, yes, Vivek has put a people tree. Yes, thank you. People tree. Okay? And you know why people tree? Why did Krishna say Ashwatham? Why not something else? Any answers? Any guesses?
It's a secretary.
Okay, banyan tree secretary और secretary है. आमला का tree secretary also. Okay, so why is why Ashwatha secretary? Yes, this way.
I don't know, but this is where many saints sit and meditate.
Mm-hmm. But why? Why do you open?
It's very long living, eternal. What's the
Okay,
significance of that?
okay. If why do you open Gita chapter number 10 verse 26? What do you think? Open that was meant to share. What do you read?
Of all the trees, I am the banyan tree.
Ashwatham.
Yes. Ashwatha Sarva Vrikshanam.
Yes, Sarvavikshana Viksho me Ashwathahu. That is why it's sacred. The other trees are best. So it is the best tree. Krishna is the best to illustrate the best. This is the point. Of all trees, I am Ashwatha. It's like this Ashwatha tree. He was eternal, Ashwatha is eternal. Right? So basically the point is, the essence of this detachment is from matter is the cause of cessation of birth and death. Right? That is there's one of the aspect of this particular verse. Then Krishna will say that how jivas are part of how jivas are the part of Supreme Lord. Mame Vamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhutsan will come in this chapter. Okay. Now, so one may ask, right? The second last verse, Mamyamcho, Mamchayo, Abhyapicharena, Bhakti. We can take Brahman stage. Now, one may say, but why do I am talking, right? We don't want Brahman stage, but you. So that whole discussion, which says, I am the ways of Brahman. So that is a seed verse for this particular chapter, this verse. So the question, and Krishna anticipating questions from Arjuna saying that, okay, you said that the devotee is surpassing the gunas, they can surpasses the gunas, right? The devotee surpasses the gunas. And attains to Brahman. So what is the nature of this material world composed of the gunas? Or nature can explain a bit more. What is the world's origin? What type of jiva surpasses the samsara by devotion to you? Bhakti yogena sevate. And then what is Brahman? Who are you based on Brahman? All these different questions being Krishna anticipating these questions. And in lieu of that, he starts answering the questions. So when he says Urdhva Moolam, the root, what is the top of the universe? What is the top of the universe?
Brahmaloka, material universe.
Brahmaloka, perfect. So root, above Satyaloka, Brahmaloka में कौन रहते हैं?
Lord Brahma.
Turloki Brahma. And from him, he's Visarga. He started the entire creation after Bhagavan, right? Visarga. He's a root of the tree of the material world.
Oh,
Okay.
that's why it's
Yeah, familiar, but right? Now, Udhamula. Now the branches are going down. What are the branches? तो ऊपर से नीचे क्या आता है? सत्यलोक से क्या नीचे क्या है?
leaves,
Hmm?
branches,
Oh yeah, so
leaves,
but yeah, branches.
branches.
But सत्यलोक के नीचे क्या क्या है?
अर्थ प्रभु.
Or you just jumped. आजा आराम से आजा.
Sun,
All the devas, the gandharvas, the kinnaras, the rakshasas, asuras, pretas, bhutas, then humans, cows, everything. Swaha, bhuva, and bhuloka, everything, right? At the branches of the tree.
Rakshasa and Preta are below earth, right, Prabhu?
No, I'm
Patala,
not saying in
Sutala.
order. I'm not saying in
Oh,
order.
okay.
I'm just saying
Okay.
all of them basically they are the branches. Okay, make sense? And this tree is the best tree. Remember, this tree is the best tree. Why? Because it gives fruits. What are the fruits of the tree?
People
The four
fruits.
purusharthas. Krishna Prabhupada says the purport, right? The four purusharthas. What are the four purusharthas?
Oh, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
Yeah, Prabhupada says here, right? In the Prabhupada says, where did I go? किधर गया वो? Yeah, it's which purport? This third paragraph, last. The fruits represent the results of living activity, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Right? Okay? Those are the fruits of trees. Fruits होंगे. Trees में fruits भी है, then there should be something more in trees. What is missing from the trees? One more thing, very, very glaring thing, which is first in a tree.
Leaves.
The leaves. What is the word for leaves? In verse? Parna. Parnani, the leaves. Right? And the
Parnika means
leaves.
leaf.
Huh?
Parnika means leaf.
Paranika, yes. Leaf.
Okay.
Parnani, parna. Leaves.
Aparna.
When you put a prefix, the word can change meaning totally altogether. For example, let's say you har. Okay? Har
Ahar.
means what?
Garland.
Garland. You put a prefix of pra क्या बन जाएगा?
Prahar.
Prahar. Anywhere close to garland.
What is Prahar? Sorry, Prabhu.
Prahar means attack.
Oh, wow.
So usually when you put prefix, also usually prefixes, the word can have very different meaning altogether. So aparna can mean I don't know, but it can be similar, but most probably it will be very different meaning. Aparna.
Okay.
Yeah. So now the leaves, right? The chandamsi yes parnani. Chanda मतलब क्या है? Vedas as compared to the leaves. Why? Because the leaves, right? So one of the most attractive part of the tree when you look at it is the leaves, beautiful lush green leaves. दिखा तो बढ़िया लग रहा है एकदम, right? Right? Because they expand the bondage of the material leaf. So the leaves are considered as the Vedas. And Veda and the leaves, what nourishes the tree? ट्री को ऑक्सीजन कौन करते हैं? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड दी फोटोसिंथेसिस प्रोसेस कौन करता है फॉर ट्री?
Leaf.
लीव्स. द लीव्स सस्टेन द ट्री, द Vedas, right? Does that make sense? Right? So now, because and the Vedas give many kamya karmas. Kamya karma basically means what? Many different um, activities to fulfill the desires. Does that make sense? So there are many different activities. Like let's say if you want a good spouse or a wealth, ये काम कर्म जो है करने के लिए, if an offering, Aindram ekadashika phalam, but if you want good offspring, do this, do this. So Vedas has so many kama karmas, right? So for that, who gives all these different karmas? The Vedas. Does that make sense? No?
Prabhu, can I
It
ask
is
a question, Prabhu?
Yes.
So there are numerous leaves, right? How do we
Mhm.
understand? But then, are they Vedas? It's the whole of Vedanta or just the primary
No, Vedas are vast.
one?
It's
Okay.
extremely vast, and Vedas are divided into different. So Vedas has different multiple branches, in Vedas, but multiple parts of Vedas. Huge
Okay.
in that way, you could say.
Yeah.
But Vedas mainly deal with, remember, it says
Purushottam.
Traigunya Vishaya Veda, this
Yeah.
Traigunya Dvarjuna.
Amrish.
Vedas mainly Vedas is a wish fulfilling tree, in one way. Because whatever we desire, there's something there in the Vedas for everyone.
Yeah.
So Vedas, the leaves are compared as Vedas because they have many karma karmas, that which makes material life appear attractive, because leaves make the tree attractive, right? Beautiful leaves makes the tree attractive, right? So these karma karmas mentioned in the Vedas, which are the leaves, make material life appear very attractive. पैसा चाहिए ये करो, धन चाहिए ये करो, long life ये करो. Oh really? Right? To make makes the material life very attractive and increase the entanglement. Does that make sense?
Sorry, I'm a bit confused. What
Okay.
does the leaves represent
So
here?
the leaves represent the Vedas. To be specific, the activities or the karmas mentioned in the Vedas.
So basically, it represents the four Vedas that we have, right? Like Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajurveda.
Yes. The activities mentioned in the Vedas. The activities which to satisfy one's desires.
Okay.
Let's say if you want an offspring, there are many karmas mentioned in the Vedas to get a good offspring. To say you want wealth, there are many karmas mentioned in the Vedas, some different parts of the Vedas, for attainment of wealth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
these activities,
is it a good thing?
depends. Depends on what level of people. See, Veda, if in a different context, Vedas are also called as wish fulfilling tree because Vedas सबके लिए कुछ ना कुछ वेद है इसमें वेदा में all different
Hmm.
for all different categories, all different gradations of people. Each and every one of each and every one has something to gain from the Vedas. So let's say the person is wants something in this world. वेदा बोले हाँ आ जाओ we'll give something सब कुछ है वेदास ले लो. The person से हमको कुछ नहीं चाहिए मेरे को I want to be liberated. अच्छा वो भी हमारे वो भी आ जाओ हम वो भी देंगे. Right? So जिसको बहुत कुछ चाहिए जो कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए the entire the person in this two opposite spectrum they both can get something Vedas can give something from to them to both of them and in between also. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Tone
Yeah.
is bad matlab depending on the eligibility of the person. For example, let's say a person goes to doctor 60 cigarettes smoke कर रहा है ठीक है and the doctor says एक काम करो ना इसको 20 can you smoke 20 cigarettes a day काम करो ठीक है and वो एक और पेशेंट बाहर बैठा है and that person smokes 10 cigarettes 10 cigarettes a day and the person says अरे हाँ doctor you told me to smoke 20 cigarettes a day 20 cigarettes a day अरे मैं जब अंदर गया he said for me he said no cigarettes why is he saying 20 cigarettes for you and it's not fair मुझे भी चाहिए कुछ. Like, so the doctor told the person 60% 60 cigarettes a day to 20 he can't go zero तो कम कर लो.
Hmm.
For me that person 10 cigarettes yes you can go zero you do it for does make sense the analogy. So for different people at different levels
Hmm.
so, उनके बोलते ना let's say you want wealth you come to Vedas okay you come with the fold of the Vedas and you do acquire wealth in a proper way dharmic way. Don't go outside don't rob a bank or don't do something adharmic to get Veda to wealth. Come Vedas में आ जाओ dharmic way you get wealth वो करो that is better than probably something else. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In that way for different levels caters. But if you see in a from the very top level from the idealistic point of view we don't want any of those because that is creating more entanglement, right? So in that way it's not good. But Vedas take people slowly up the ladder. So it depends. If you want to go slow, or we're going to go fast. Plus. So this world, the Vedas describe the world as a tree, and with the intention showing that it should be cut down. This tree should be cut down. Now, when you say cut down, it you but cut down with what? You cut down with something. What is
The
that cutting?
entire
What is the
tree should be
mechanism to
cut
cut it?
down.
Huh?
The entire tree should be cut down.
Yeah, cut down for us one person in the sense that because tree is a material world, right? When you say cut down, that means person has to be detached from the material world. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So what is this? The tool used to cut. कुछ कट करना पड़ेगा ना. We don't cut with hand, right? We need something sharp. What is that sharp thing?
Bro, 1 second, bro. Before getting to that analogy,
Mm-hmm.
roots are there, branches are there, leaves are there.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are all material tree, we are talking about the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about cutting the reflection.
Reflection here, when you say reflection here, distance doesn't mean it's false. It's temporary. The analogy of
See,
temporary is there, but this world is not false, right?
yeah.
That analogy is given, reflection, to indicate there's something real.
You should
But
not like attach it to this. It is very difficult to see where the analogy starts and analogy ends.
so basically, okay, understand this way. This entire tree is represent the entire world, right? And the fruits are dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The leaves, which को काम कर्मस, which all makes world entangled. क्योंकि हमको ये tree से निकलना है हमको. When you get out of this tree, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
तो वो ट्री कट करने के लिए we have to cut our connection with the tree. We don't want to associate with
Okay.
the tree anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
That cut, how do you cut it? How do you detach? Also, the detachment is the weapon, you could say, to cut yourself from the tree. That makes sense?
Okay, Prabhu. Well,
And this detachment comes from discriminating knowledge. क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए.
okay, Prabhu.
And this
So the
discrimination
sharp,
huh? Yeah.
the sharp object is discriminating knowledge, right, Prabhu? Knowledge.
To discriminate knowledge, your detachment has to be there.
Yes.
And that discriminating knowledge culminates in what? Mamcho yo abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevati. That is the highest discriminating knowledge by bhakti. Mentioned in the previous chapter, 14.26. And by bhakti yoga, what happens? Sagunan samatiteta brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Jiva attains the swarup. Good spiritual world. Does it make sense? Does it able to
Yes,
understand the
Prabhu.
connection?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Anyone who didn't understand the connection?
So here it
Yeah.
says that the fruits represent religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation. So is the verse telling us to choose liberation?
Ultimately, that is what we should aspire for. But again, depending on the level of people, right? If you go to someone else, attached, passion mein, bhaiya,
But
liberation.
that is also attachment, right? Asking ourselves to choose liberation is attachment to liberation, right? Then how
Yes.
can we choose it?
What do you mean by how can you choose it? Liberation in the sense that,
Even that is a desire, right? So
yeah.
I'm producing a desire of liberation is also a wrong thing, right? I mean,
So let's say, let's be a question. Is desire wrong?
no. I mean, desire to certain things might be wrong,
Yes. So desire
not
to
to.
what thing? Desire to what? Wrong. Okay, let's say, okay, I don't want to go too extreme. Let's say
Hmm,
something is favorable and is unfavorable. Let's talk that way, right?
hmm,
So attachment or desire or some things are favorable or not very good and still not conducive, something not good.
hmm.
But depending on the goal you have, you choose something you don't. For example, if someone is marathon ka bhag raha hai, the person won't choose to eat ice cream, cheesy foods. Do you think person will eat that? Marathon bhag raha hai, body maintain karna hai. I'm not going to choose it because that is not conducive to for my goal.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So the person to having desire is not bad. Having
Hmm.
what kind of desire makes the intention, it shows your goal.
Basically, acting upon desire is wrong, right?
No, no. Like, what kind of desire? Let's say you want to desire for oneself, desire to enjoy the world. मजा कर रहा है बस मजे कर रहा है भाई you only live once. ऐसा ऐसे लोग होते राइट
Hmm.
वो गलत है अगेन गलत किसके लिए है फॉर देम क्या करो इसमें गलत क्या है एंजॉय करो यार व्हाट मैन उनके लिए दे डोंट फील एनीथिंग रॉन्ग इन दैट
Hmm.
बट गलत फॉर व्हेन यू से रॉन्ग राइट व्हाटएवर राइट if you choose from our own standpoint it becomes very relative because what is wrong for me may be right for someone else
Yeah, it's
right
subjective. Hmm.
right so we need a yardstick a stable basis based on which we can decide. What is the gold standard?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
ऑब्जेक्टिव करना है अगर ये सही है कि गलत है मेरी गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड वेद वेदास शास्त्र तो बता अच्छा तो व्हाट इज द बेस्ट थिंग बीइंग ए साइकिल ऑफ बर्तन तो बेस्ट है अगर तुमको बेस्ट लग रहा है ठीक करो बट देयर समथिंग मच मोर अमेजिंग हायर बियॉन्ड दिस तुम वो चाहिए क्या
Hmm.
द ऑप्शंस आर देयर यू चूज व्हाटएवर यू वांट if you want to go beyond this there's also desire again so desire is not wrong what kind of desire is that matters तो
Okay.
भगवान की सेवा करनी, want to serve भगवान, that was a desire. But is that
Mm.
desire bad? No.
Mm.
Because that desire is for whom? To serve, to please Bhagwan.
Right.
That is perfect. You can have unlimited spiritual desires.
Mm.
When you say desires here, we're talking about material desires.
Okay. Yeah, that's all.
In this sense,
Mm-hmm.
you can have unlimited spiritual desires. No problem. I want to cook with you, Bhagwan. Is it बड़ा चटपट वो खिलाना है? I mean, nice garland. These are all desires which are in your heart. भगवान माला बनाना है, भगवान को करना है. I will teach my kids Gita. I will teach them talking Bhagwan. These are all different desires which can have. These are all have a common thread with Bhagwan. To please Bhagwan. You can have unlimited of them. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Perfect. So all the detachment from this world is required to go beyond this, because if you बोलते ना, दो नाव में पैर रखना not possible. If you keep the legs, both legs on two different boats, at one point of time you can do a split, but at one point of time you will fall in again. You fall in the water. You have to decide at one point, depending on where you are, because both of them cannot go simultaneously. Right? So depending on what is your eligibility, what is your what is eligibility, you decide. Okay, I have many desires. Okay, let's be fulfilled in a proper way instead of doing something wrong. That's fine. Dharma, artha, kama, these are required, especially for grahastha. It's required, but let's do it in a proper way, and that bhakti in the center. Okay, we're not saying that except chhod detachment, chodo. No, that's not the point. Trying to try to cultivate the detachment naturally, not artificially. And a natural detachment will come from Professor Bhakti. Why do I say? I'll show you a verse. Why am I saying that that detachment will come naturally through Bhakti if you do it properly? Okay? Maybe we can see the verse. Okay, think so. इसमें है ना? हाँ देखो,
We can see.
वासुदेव भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजितः जनयति वासुदेव भगवती वासुदेव में अंटू इन वासुदेव भगवान वासुदेव, फिर भक्ति योगा परफॉर्म द भक्ति योगा टू वासुदेव प्रॉपरली, बट जनयति, जने मतलब जन्म होता है, इट अराइजेस, what arises, आशु, very quickly, वैराग्यम and ज्ञानम. Okay, this is one verse, it's a very same verse, यहाँ पे sorry, जनयति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम चाहिए अहेतुकम. But ending those service unto personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causes, knowledge, and detachment from the world.
Prabhu, same verse is repeated twice because I remember it was the first canto and then you showed
Yeah,
third
there are
canto.
couple of verses which are repeated twice
Repeated,
also.
right? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Jai,
But
Jai.
it's not exactly. This last one is different. Jnana Jayat Brahma Darshanam.
Oh, okay, okay.
थोड़ा अलग है.
Okay,
Last two words.
Jai.
But the point is, by performing bhakti to Krishna, we don't have to artificially cultivate renunciation. अरे छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए, नहीं चाहिए. It just comes naturally in your heart, no problem. Artificially, try to cultivate, it won't stay it won't stay for a long time. Put it it will break at one point of time. Does it make sense? The analogy of the first verse. So Bhagavan describes the world as a samsara, as a tree, the word samsara, and detachment as a sword to illustrate the power of detachment to cut samsara, composed of various gunas. And that detachment, knowledge of discrimination, which culminates detachment, culminates as bhakti, Mam 14.26. Is that clear? What are the leaves? What are the roots? What are the branches? What are the fruits? Okay, is it not clear?
The roots Was there
The root-
something about roots?
yeah,
Sorry.
the root is at the very top of the material world. ब्रह्मांड जो है, ब्रह्मांड का very top में is a lotus flower which comes from the navel of Lord Shiva Vishnu and sits. This person sits on the lotus flower. The place called Satyaloka. Chaturmukhi Brahmaji sits at the top.
Mm-hmm.
That is, he is the secondary creator, of the entire universe. So he is a root
Okay.
of the universe. And from everything descends on. Satyaloka, Jana, Tapa, Mahar. Right?
And what do we do with the root, Prabhu?
No, the root will be there. So this tree is abhyayam, eternal. It's temporary but eternal. That makes sense?
We are a part of that root, right?
We are not part of the root. As a living entity, we are not part of the root. Our body, because we identify with the body, we consider part of the root, part of the entire tree. Does that make sense? So we are souls, right? Jivatma.
Hmm.
But Jivatma is very different than this entire world is made of matter, and the soul is spirit in it. It's like very two different materials. If you know matter, antimatter kind of stuff. Very different, totally different stuff. So we do not belong to this world. Let's say you want to go to space, right? We go to space. Can we go with the same body as it is? Can we go to space?
Space suit.
Space suit चाहिए ना हमको. A body appropriate for that particular environment is needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
The living entity is not suitable, not suited in this world because very different, totally different nature. Jivatma ka nature is very different than material world. But to be here, the living entity needs a particular suit. What is the suit?
The material body.
Material body is a suit. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is so
So
we
the roots
consider
are
our
there.
part of
Yeah. So we are the roots are there. The branches are like below the roots, which means the branches are the worlds, material worlds below, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many lokas.
Mm-hmm.
And leaves are the Vedas that nourish all these lokas activities,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right.
And the goal is to stop identifying ourselves with this tree. In essence, cut this tree from our minds.
Detachment from this world.
Yeah,
Yes.
detachment from this entire material tree, so to speak, using
Yes.
the discriminative knowledge.
Yeah. We don't have to cut the entire tree. Now only हमको अपना connection काटना है बस.
Cut the connection from the tree. Yes.
Because this is abhyayam, eternal. It will keep coming and going. That's how the world works, right? Chapter number 8, remember? Chapter number 8, Krishna said, dissolution and
Punaha,
creation.
punaha, he says.
Again and again to come. So it's eternal in the sense that it's temporary but eternal. Keep on going. That's what anadi, beginningless. Right? That makes sense?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Okay. So now one major point. Now ये ट्री ये कौन कभी देखा कभी ट्री रूट ऊपर बैंच के नीचे देखा है ऐसा कौन सा ट्री होता है
Right. That people tree somehow comes close, but it's still flabbergasting to me.
No, नहीं नहीं which tree has roots up and branches down
People, right?
actually banyan tree होता है people tree में नहीं होता है but I'm saying the roots basically mean the roots hanging down right but the entire tree entire branches come all the way down in the sense that what it means here that's why Ashwatha is people tree it's not banyan actually banyan tree but banyan tree is used here people tree में is ulta this one branches up. So you see that kind of thing on a
Reflection.
on the water reflection basically right that makes sense no reflection के लिए क्या होना चाहिए
Water.
Real thing.
वाटर होना
Oh,
चाहिए
real thing. Real
रियल थिंग
thing.
होना चाहिए रियल थिंग हो तो रिफ्लेक्शन आएगा राइट so this tree is a reflection of what if it's water molecule tree is reflection of what
Spiritual world.
Something of spiritual world. So there's something real, and this is a perverted reflection of the world. And the world is perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Vikriti Swarup, very perverted reflection. Pratibimb. Right? So when you see a reflection of just say you are on the bank of a river, you will see a reflection of mango. What do you immediately think of? This is original mango, right?
Yes.
But when you see original mango, do you think it's of a reflection?
No.
No.
Very beautiful, Prabhu. Yeah. Okay.
When we see this world, अरे भैया यहाँ पे तो भगवान के धाम क्या होगा मतलब? We immediately this spiritual world that you should make that should be consciousness at one point that we don't identify with this world. Being in the world, we don't identify. We are all our head. Dham. Does it make sense? Thinking of the spiritual world. So this Krishna trying to make understand that there's a world here inverted by a people tree, or Ashwatha tree, which implies there is an original tree somewhere else, and that is Brahma Bhuyaya, Brahma Bhu. That is the place which you want to go. We should aspire for. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, any questions?
Prabhu,
Prabhu,
banyan tree. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, the more we read about this tree, the more we sink in, Prabhu. So,
Okay. Sorry, you see something, Anita?
No, I'm trying to understand I've read or heard that the banyan tree roots, they go deep into the soil, right? Does that
Okay.
have any significance about how much entanglement is there in
No,
the
so right.
Vedas
So
world?
yeah, so Ashwatha tree is actually technically Ashwatha tree is people tree. Banyan tree is called Vata Vriksha. But sometimes it's translated, in banyan or people, but in actually it should be people tree. People tree doesn't have, if you see good people tree, you won't find branches coming down. People tree. It's not that long. It's maybe hang thoda hoga, but it's not. Banyan tree has, wow, really huge
so
ones
the
going
roots or
down.
branches?
You say roots coming down. Because from that, when you go
Then
and
what is the picture I posted, Prabhu?
you see there's people tree shared, right?
Yeah.
But if you see people tree, let's see if you find. Let's see. Let me show you. Okay.
Yeah, it's not as long as banyan trees. I've seen banyan trees come
It's
out of the
very very
ground.
small, right? It's very very small. So if you see here, people, कितना आ रहा है? कैसे है? कुछ नहीं आ रहा, right?
The inversion is mostly related to the reflection.
Yes, that's the whole point.
It's not the actual appearance of the tree itself.
No. It's allegory. It's to make a point.
Yeah, okay.
It's to make a point. And one beautiful thing is, this is a tree. Remember? Do you remember at past time? Maybe it's a different tangential thing, but Krishna appeared to Markandeya Rishi. Do you remember the past time? Anyone remembers? Anyone knows? No?
No, Prabhu.
Really?
I know Markandeya Rishi. I don't know the fast time.
So, if you Vedabase, we go to Bhagavatam,
Prabhu,
Canto
is this
12.
the one where Markandeya Rishi asked about like how is the samsara, and then
Hmm.
immediately Krishna will show the ocean itself, where at the
Yes.
end Krishna will lie on the leaf with his thumb sucking in his.
Alila Shayan. Yes, exactly. That photo you see of Krishna sucking his own thumb, see? That is past time, 12th canto.
Oh, okay, okay.
Vatapatra Shai.
Yes. And these beautiful words in Bal Mukundashtakam. very, this is Vattasapatram Puteshayanam Balam Mukundam Manasa Smarami. Karara Vinde the Paravindam. Karara Vinde na pada.
Ranganatha Ashtakam, no, Prabhu?
Sorry?
That is Ranganatha Ashtakam, right, Prabhu?
This is Balmukunda Ashtakam.
Oh, okay, Prabhu.
Kararavindeन पदारविन्दं मुखारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पुटे शयानं बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि. Kararavindeन, Kara Aravinde, Aravind is lotus, by lotus with lotus hands, Kadarvindena Padarvindam. He is holding his lotus feet with his lotus hands. Okay? Mukharvinde, in and putting his mukhar in lotus mouth. Viniveshayantam. And vatasya patrasya, vata vriksha, vatasya patrasya, no leaf, vatasya, pute shayanam, he's lying very nicely, putting his thumb, holding lotus feet with lotus hands, putting lotus mouth, lying very sweetly on the beautiful vata vriksha, banyan tree. Vatasya patrasya balam mukundam manasasmara. So anyway, so the point was to make a point that saying this material world is unmattered and there's something real on the other side. Whole point. Does that make sense? Any questions, anything before we move ahead?
We should listen to another Amarendra Prabhu saying that.
Oh yeah, this is a clip in Chopati.
Yeah, the famous Chapati clip. He likes
Yes.
to merge
He merged
Govinda Damodaras Stotram and
yes.
this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're not watched, anyone's not watched that, please watch it. Maybe we can share in the group.
Yeah, I'll put it in the group.
Yeah, amazing. You just immerse. It's like a repeat. You can put it on repeat, that particular aspect.
Prabhu, yeah, how
Yeah.
much I wish the whole song was recorded, just 2-minute clip and then
The
He
lecture
never
is there
sang
online.
he never sang the whole song. He keeps singing the tidbits here and there. Yeah.
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. And then will come this verse and then go back.
Yeah.
It goes
This is
very
like
beautiful.
this is the Bilmar Mangala Thakur's
Correct.
right,
Bal
Prabhu.
Mukunda
That
Ashtakam.
the 72 version of Prabhu, Raghav was talking about this because that devotee was talking to Raghav regarding this.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Very beautiful. Bal Mukunda Ashtakam.
both are by Bilur Mangal Thakur, the Damodara, the
Govinda
Damodara
Damodareti
Madhaveti and the Bala.
and this one, yes. Agre Kuruna Mata Pandavanam. Yeah, that was, yeah. Okay. Sorry for tangential. Any question before we go to next verse? We can get two verses at least. Once, twice, thrice. Okay. We go to next verse number 2. Any takers? This Vivek has shared. Maybe you
Prabhu,
can share in the WhatsApp group also. निकल जाएगा यहाँ पे. Share there also you can share.
Yes.
There.
yes, Prabhu. I will read, Prabhu.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Text 2. Chordvam paratas. I'm getting that tune, Prabhu. Chordvam parashratastasya shaka guna pravriddha vishaya pravala adascha mulani anusantatani karmanu bandhani manushya loke. And synonyms: atha, downwards; cha, and; urdhvam, upwards; prashrita, extended; tasya, its; shaka, branches; guna, by the mode of the material nature; pravriddha, developed; vishaya, sense enjoyment; pravala, twigs; other, downwards; cha, and; mulani, roots; anusantatani extended, karma to work, anubandhini bound, manushya loke in the world of human society. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The branches of this tree extend downwards and upwards, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. Purport. The description of the banyan tree is further explained here. Its branches spread in all directions. In the lower parts, there are variegated manifestations of living entities, human being, animal, cows, horses, cows, dogs, cats, etc. These are situated on the lower parts of the branches, whereas on the upper parts are higher forms of living entities, the demigods, Gandharvas, and many other higher species of life. As the tree is nourished by water, so is this tree nourished by the three modes of material nature. Sometimes we find that a tract of land is barren for want of sufficient water, and sometimes the tract is very green. Similarly, where particular modes of material nature are proportionately greater in quantity, the different species of life are manifested accordingly. The twigs of the tree are considered to be the sense object. By development of the different modes of the nature, we develop different senses, and by the senses, we enjoy different varieties of sense objects. The tips of the branches are senses, the ears, nose, eyes, etc., which are attached to the enjoyment of different sense objects. The twigs are sound, form, touch, and so on, the sense object. The subsidiary roots are attachments and aversions, which are byproducts of different varieties of suffering and sense enjoyment. The tendencies towards piety and impiety are considered to develop from these secondary roots, which spread in all directions. The real root is from Brahmaloka, and other roots are in human planetary systems. After one enjoys the results of the virtuous activities in the upper planetary system, he comes down to this earth and renews his karma for fruitive activities for promotion. This planet of human beings is considered the field of activities. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Krishna, thank you so much. Jai. This is a more involved verse. This is how much we can discuss. Okay. So this verse talks about, the previous verse talked about branches going down. We talk about going up and down also now. We'll see what it means. So adhars cha urdhvam, downward and upward. Prasrita means extended. The branches go up and down now by guna pravardha, by the sprinkling of, or by the action of material modes, branches go up and down. And Vishaya Pravala. And Vishaya Pravala basically means the twigs, but the twigs, trees have twigs also, are considered the sense objects. Okay, we'll talk about that also. And Adhascha Mulani Anusantatani. And the roots also extend upwards and downwards. Okay. And Karmanubandhi Manushaloke. And Karmanubandhini and Manushaloke is only where the karma is accrued. So no matter where you go, so what the branches go up and down means the branches can be considered as metal bodies, and if you good activities, you go up the heavenly planets. If not, you go down. So the branches going up and down means what kind of bodies you get depending on the type of karma you do. Right? So in the form of animals and others, you go down. In the form of birth of devatas and other elevated beings, you go up. And these branches increase and decrease by the watering process in the form of actions of three gunas. Does that make sense? Depending on what kind of actions we do, which kind of gunas we are in, what kind of actions we do, depending on that, we kind of get the bodies go up and down. Does that make sense?
Are we still talking about the inverted tree?
Yeah, still look inverted. In material world, previous was talked about the branches going down, but there are branches going upwards also. ऊपर नीचे भी आते हैं लोग branches. In this verse, Krishna is saying, "Adhascha
इमेजिन
urdhvam."
करना पड़ रहा है भाई.
हाँ, तो बोला these are exact. So
It is
imagine a
allegorical.
tree
Yeah.
with the main root on the top, main root. Okay?
Yeah.
And there's branches coming up and down. पूरे ऊपर नीचे branches है. And the branches also have fruits. It has twigs. It has leaves. Full is very dense tree with branches up and down, roots. Does it make sense? Just
Basically, very entangling.
very entangling, very बोलते हैं ना, very dense.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, and the branches are, you could suppose, our bodies we get. And in different planets, there are material bodies from Patal, so all the Jantapa, Brahmalok, right? Depending on the activities, in which mode of activities predominant, what do, you get bodies in different planets in the entire world, in the universe. Yes, makes sense.
Yes.
So the branches go up and down, and depending on what kind of activities, which mode you do, you go up, you get or down. Branches go up and down. Is this clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Right? Now, okay, let me see. Okay, yeah. So now what we have, the next thing we have is the क्या बोलते हैं, the twigs or the shoots, pravala, the twigs. They can sense objects such as touch and sound. So the birds are always in close contact with what? So understand this way. Um, the branches are the bodies, okay, and branches have tips, right? ठीक है नहीं?
Yes.
There is senses which have shoots, the sense objects. So it's like we always want to touch, we always want to enjoy sense objects, right? So the shoots are always in close with the tips. Does this make sense? I know it's not to imagine, but bear with me. So branches or bodies they have tips, okay, and they have contact with sense objects. Vishaya pravala.
Prabhu, we are slightly shifting the symbolism of the branches with the material worlds, the lokas, to
Yes.
material bodies.
Imagine trying to describe material world in the example of a tree, but not any regular tree.
Yes, that I understood, Prabhu. The
Mhm.
lokas are the branches. Now you are saying the branches are not the lokas, the branches are the bodies.
Material world, material bodies going up and down. Yes. So when I say, remember the branches going up
Oh,
and down, what day is starting में? Gandharva,
Brahmaloka.
Kinnaras.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So we are
those are
still
bodies,
talking
right?
about that system.
Yes.
And then the body is traveling between these.
But depending on what kind of activity karma what you do, which modes, you go up and down. You get bodies. So
Yes,
sometimes
please talk about the shoots again, Prabhu.
yeah. So shoots are the about of enjoyment, you could say. The bodies, right? Body have tips. The branches have tips, and they have shoots also. The shoots are always in contact with the branches, right? Small buds. है कि नहीं?
Yeah, yes.
Right? So this indicates that the shoots are the body wants to enjoy. The tendency of the living entity with the body of enjoyment is mentioned like the shoots are there on the tips of the branches. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
So example is the sense objects are such as sound are considered to be shoots because they are in immediate contact with the senses. Sense objects with the senses on the metal body.
Which are the senses here?
Senses are the tips, you could say twigs.
Okay, yes, Prabhu.
Okay, but so I know it's calling, but Krishna is trying to make understand that the desire for the living entity with the body to enjoy is extremely close. It's extremely natural.
Almost like it's part of his
Part of
material
it,
world.
yes. Yes, part of it. Almost like a part of it. If Krishna understand here, make us understand. Okay. Now the other question comes is ये secondary roots क्या है? Okay. The secondary roots are impressions of vasana caused by attachment and repulsion. Because of attachment and repulsion, what do? We do activities like dharma or adharma, which cause again bondage. Does that make sense?
By secondary roots, what do you mean
So if you
exactly,
see here,
Prabhu?
right?
Picture
Adhascha mulani anusantadani. Mool means root, right?
root, yeah,
The roots are also going down or up,
yeah,
extended.
yes,
And these are compared to vasanas or impressions in the mind, and impressions of what? Raga and dvesh, attachment and repulsion.
okay.
And they said to roots because they are the cause of a person's tendency to act. I'm dharma, मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मुझे करना है. The only vasanas we have, we tend to act in a particular way.
Yeah.
Right? So the main root is Brahma, or Shri Brahma at the top. The secondary roots, which cause actions and particular bodies, are various impressions. Because certain impressions we have, we do certain actions being in a particular mode, and because of that we get bodies in different up and down. Now does it make sense?
Yeah, Prabhu, yeah.
Hmm? And what kind of roots they are? They give rise to bondage of karma. And based on whatever karma, whatever body we have to come back to Manushya Loka, to Earth planet. Because that is where we give rise to new karma. Karma Anubandhini. Karma Anubandhini Manushya. So only in the material world can we accrue karma. In other places we expend or karmic points, whatever. Does it make sense? A complicated thing, but Krishna is trying to make us understand the what is it called? क्या बोलते हैं इसको? The dense nature, the complexity of the material world is not as simple as it seems.
Way too interconnected.
Way too interconnected, so many variables coming in, very difficult. Any questions? And it's a lot taken. सब समझ में आया मतलब या तो सब समझ में आया तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आया
आएगा आएगा
Prabhu,
आएगा
I told you, right, Prabhu. I have been reading this chapter since 2018, Prabhu.
Don't
Every
did
time
you,
I look up this 15.1 verse, I will be like, oh man,
and did
I
you
wish I
understand
could
something?
understand.
Did you hopefully got some more clarity today? I
Yes,
don't know.
Prabhu. Yeah, I'm getting there, Prabhu. Every time I read it, it gets a little bit better. So I'll
Okay.
keep working, Prabhu.
Yeah. So I'll summarize. Okay. Hopefully we have summarize. Okay. The
Prabhu,
main root.
I will
Sorry.
just say 3 points to avoid confusion, Prabhu.
Yes.
The
Go
tree
ahead.
is not real. It is an allegorical reflection. It is not real in the sense the
The
material
material world
world
is
is
real,
real.
but the tree
The
is not
material
real.
world is, yeah, the tree is not real because he's saying the tree is upside down. Doesn't mean the tree is actually upside down in the material world. It is a description of how the material universe is, and more a description of the reflection of the tree in the water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The
The whole
roots,
point of yeah. Go ahead.
the roots, branches, leaves are all describing the material universe, the Brahmaloka, the material worlds, and the activities that nourish all of them.
Yes.
That nourish or whatever. It depends on your desire.
Mm-hmm.
And then the secondary level, there are the shoots and the leaves that talk about senses and sense objects, how close they are to the branches, the material world
Bodies.
themselves, the bodies, material bodies, that they are so wanting to
Enjoy.
enjoy. And then the secondary roots, which are technically part of the entire material universe, are compared to vasanas.
Impressions in the mind.
Impressions in the mind that causes you to act in a certain way and get more entangled in this cycle of birth and death.
Yes.
I think
Perfect.
you have to like imagine as a diagram more than a real tree.
Yeah, but if I ask, right, what is the essence of Krishna telling this? But I'm sure Krishna didn't want us to be confused with these details. Krishna wants us to understand something from these details. इस तरह बोलते हैं ना, reading between the lines. कहना क्या चाहते हो भैया? Krishna talk about the next verse. Krishna telling us that is not the place to enter, go up and down, don't play the elevator game, to go beyond it. This reflection is something real.
इन झंझट में मत फंसो.
In the material world, you go up and down, you're stuck here, go up and down, but beyond this world, so there's some place, once you return, you don't want to come back again. Right? There's a whole essence Krishna saying, Bhaiya, how complicated this world is. You don't have to be this world, this much better world somewhere else. And to attain that, I will talk 14.26.
Yeah.
Right? This
Also, one,
Mhm.
Prabhu is just thinking, reflecting. When we get so attracted to the reflection, imagine when
Mhm.
we look at the real item which is getting reflected, how much attraction would be there
Yeah, Papa
for the
said,
real.
Papa said, if the creation is so beautiful, imagine the creator.
Yeah. I know.
Said that. And so Prabhupada is very, very, I just want to run past him, Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was, there's a brahmachari with Prabhupada, and coming from you might know this, getting down the airport, okay? And he was down on the tarmac, that time, and air hostess came, walking down, and the brahmacharis were looking at her, very, very attractive. And Prabhupada was looking at him, looking at her. And then finally, when he realized, he was so ashamed of trying to look at, sorry, Prabhupada. Prabhupada then said, the creation is so beautiful, imagine the creator. Then
Very
Prabhupada said
good.
that. It's a very beautiful, very beautiful. Once you look at Krishna, you never. So, in this regard, I don't know, maybe end with this verse, end with something very sweet, okay? This is one of my favorite verses. This is this is in Padyavali. No, not the Padyavali. Govind, what is this? Okay, yeah. No, let me see. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, this is in. I'm thinking. Yeah, yeah. Stop. Oh, I'm thinking. Yeah, Krishna. I'm thinking. Where did words go? This very beautiful verse by Sri Rupa Goswami. It talks about this. Okay. Okay. So if you just, I really want to share this. Viram, Viram, Bhangi, Trapachit, okay, मिल गई. Viram, Bhangi, Trapachittam. Yes. Jita Jita is there. Okay. Okay. So let's show this person will finish. Okay. We can see the screen, hopefully.
Yes.
This is in the Mer's meter. Shakul Vikritam. Shalgosa Ashtakam. Smeram Bhangi Traya. No, this is either Mandakranta. स्मेरां भङ्गी त्रयपरिचितं साचि विस्तीर्ण दृष्टिं वंशीनस्ताधरकिशलयम् उज्ज्वलं चन्द्रकेन गोविन्दाख्यं हरितनुमिताः केशितीर्थोपकण्ठे मा प्रेक्षिष्ठात् तव यदि सखे बन्धुसङ्गे स्थिरङ्ग. The effect of seeing Krishna, what is it desire to? Smeram Bhangi, no, he's smiling. Bhangi Traya Prachitam. He's bent in three knees, waist, and shoulder. Okay. Sachi Vistir Drishtim is very crooked when a sidelong glance. Pamshi Nastadhara Kishalayam. Beautiful lips. Yes, Adhara, beautiful lips. He have Venu, flute. Ujjwalam Chandrakena, like it's glowing like moon, very bright. What is the person? Govind, he's called Govinda. Govindakhim. Haritanum. Body like a lion, body. Ita. And where is he? Where is he? Keshi Tirtha Upakanda, the banks of Keshi. Keshi is a place in the Yamuna, bank of river Yamuna. And Rupa is saying, Ma means no. Ma Shucha, no. Ma Prekshita, do not look at that person who is smiling, has three bending form, besides crooked glance, which is flute on his lips, beautiful, standing on the bank of river Yamuna. Do not look. Why? If you don't look for whom? Yadi, in case you want to enjoy with your friends and relatives in the world. Enjoy karna hai idhar. No, please don't go to the bank of Yamuna and then look at the person. So what is Rupa is trying to say? Okay, do not go
Once you look at him, you will be mesmerized and you can't think of anything else.
Yeah, Rupa is saying, Jao dekho. He's trying to, Virodabhas, trying to say something, but by saying don't do that thing. ना में हाँ है, right? Don't look, मतलब वहीं पे जाओ, देखो. Right? This is very beautiful verse. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. I remember you shared this before, Vaibhav. Yeah.
One of my favorite verses.
Yeah. Jai. Very well. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you so much. We did two verses today, first and second. If you have any questions, please do think about it. We'll come back tomorrow next time and we can discuss.
Thank you so much. This was please stress on us revising before the class, Prabhu, especially this chapter, because we really need to do that. If not, it's easy to get lost.
Yeah, still I would say, right? Details are good, but try to capture the essence. Why is Krishna saying this?
Correct, Prabhu. Correct, Prabhu.
Don't get confused and entangled in the details. If you're not getting confused, the details are good. But if you don't know details, if you remember the essence, that's more important.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Vriksha कृपा सिंधु भे बच पितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनुरुद्ध वैष्णव की जय, विद्या की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Please take rest, Varsha and Lakshmi. Hopefully, pick up very soon.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.